Good morning. It is Mini Pots here again, and I have a mess there on my desk, which is like nothing new, but I've been working a little bit on the cavemen this past week. I've had to put a stop to it recently with work and kids, and that probably makes sense, but that's what we are about. I want to be adjusting the camera for just a second. There we go. And I have the guys all to a stage of basically this, and I will be doing their boots. I started doing their boots and some of their weapons, and if they have jewelry like items, the bone teeth, and I will be doing a coat of the marine juice over them, which if you follow Sonic Sledgehammer on YouTube, he does a couple episodes where he details the recipe of this. Go with the newer one, and that's what I did. Very happy with it. It has some browns, some grays, some blacks, some greens to it. So it's a combination of Reichland Flesh Shade. So you have the reds, browns, and then you have Dark Tone by Army Painter Fanatic. Then a Lamian medium, one of each. And I have a big bottle of it, which is over there, which you cannot see over there. And I sort of use it as an all-purpose shading. I use that to like on this, I'll just go over the entire thing. Then we do some some of the flesh tones and some of the browns. I may not go over the hair, just depends, but it'll give some nice contrast. So, been working on those. Still almost finished with these guys. It's been really cold here for me to go outside and do a varnish on them. I want to paint the rocks that I glued down on the saber-tooth tiger and bears, and glue some tufts to the moose and whatnot, and I'll call those guys done after I rim the base with a black. My tribe, this is for hide, stone, and bone, which I happen to have right here, which is the new game by Osprey. And they're doing, well, I'll go over that, and very excited about that. Hits a lot of things. You take your basic warband and you grow over time, and it's interesting. It has a lot of stuff going on, and you hunt. You can play solo. You can play versus. There's a lot of different things, and so this is going to be one tribe right now. I'm working on getting the Bobby Jackson cavemen, which were developed for tribal, from North Star, and they have similar arrangement where they have shaman, family groups, hunters, short weapon, long range weapon, and so that's going to be there. I was doing pretty good on the not saying the ums for a bit. The one thing I didn't see is that this group of cavemen by North Star, which is a cobblestone casting caveman, had women. This is from their high adventure group, and I missed getting those. And so They are like the cavemen, where they have an open hand for you to do something with. So I've cleaned these ladies up, and I will be magnetizing their hands. So that way, if I want them or represent them in case my brain forgets them carrying knives or clubs or spears. I do wish they had a different set of weapons that you could purchase, where it would be like plain javelin type things and plain wooden club type stuff. And they may. I haven't looked at their website recently specifically for that. But that's where that is at. And then I'll get these guys, the ladies, primed, based and primed, along with the weapons. I'll finish up the main group, then finish up through the ladies next. And I'm hoping to have that all done by next week. Another purchase, and this is for the, again, Hide, Stone, and Bone, is the Saurian Matriarch. She's an interesting miniature. She's resin. She is not on the North Star website. She comes with the bigger base and body with two little gimpy arms up there near the top. So she's sort of like a T-Rex, sort of. The bottom legs, the head, and the tail. And I think the super glue should go together fine. I might add a bit of a staple, drilling it and doing a little bit of wire to connect them. I am thinking about that. That's not in the agenda quite as yet. The other one is the Saurian Sailback. This is a lot more readily available just about anywhere that sells the North Star miniatures. So when I saw the chance to get that, I was like, okay, I gotta get that. And this, again, is for this game. And it's a little bit more, it's different. I'll definitely have to peg. It has the head, the tail, and four pewter legs, or metal legs, and then these bases. I have some GW style bases, which I'm thinking of going with instead of that. I will have to wait and see. I did pop these out and look at the minis, and I was thinking I liked them. The next thing, and it's for the other game that's coming out by Osprey, the Joseph McCullough's Warriors of Athena. And in it, you can have a pet boar. And so I have that. Of course, I need to hold it more. And it's a nice miniature. Very happy with it. This is the packaging that comes with the 3 rats, or giant rats. And so I grabbed that. I had wanted them for some time. I have some of the Games Workshop rat swarms from the city one. It'll hit me. And I don't always want a swarm. Sometimes you just want a single giant rat, and it's also usable for some other stuff that Zona Alpha and some other games that are out there that you can have a giant rat. So even the Forbidden Psalm stuff, some of their games have rats in them. So that's what's new. I only foresee me working on this right now. I'm thinking I'm going to put the Warriors of Athena on the back burner while I finish up this group and get this painted. and then I'll be moving on. Now, we're here because I did a warband, and I did it randomly. And so you roll for if it's a hunter or gatherer, and the sex, and then the age. So I have adult, adult, elder, adult, 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 young adult, elder, and adult. And I all rolled randomly. Sexes are 4 females and 6 males. Then I have youth. Now the youth I haven't assigned a sex to yet. I'll do that when they mature, which I know is weird and sort of. And so you also have an extinction level that you start with, and that when it gets down to 0, your tribe of peoples has either been assimilated into another group or has gone extinct because it couldn't afford to feed itself. So this is my start of my tribe. I'll get that documented and show it up in a little bit better way than I was thinking of doing a create your tribe for episode for a future show. So I had forgotten. I just glanced over and these guys already based, but in addition to the cave women and a couple of the monsters, I got these guys, and these are the dinosaur hunters from Cobblestone Casting, which is also part of North Star. And I do need one lady dinosaur hunter. I thought there was one in this group, but there's not. And there's one possible one, but I didn't think after I got them and looked at them, I was like, no, I guess it's a possible woman, but I just sort of saw it, and I don't know. It didn't feel right. So you have the big game hunter, you have a possible scientist, you know, and you have another femme fatale. These are all characters that you can have in your Hide, Stone, and Bone, where you encounter them exploring in the underworld, a Hollow Earth idea, and you adopt them into your group basically for a short period or a long period, just depending on your game. So have those, want to get those painted up, and that's where I'm working right now. Some other projects I've just decided to set aside, not because I'm not interested in them, because I'm trying to really focus and nail down a couple things to finish it. I know, what's the fun in that? And I don't see myself getting into Baron's War quite yet. Pillage, yes, because there's a couple small footprint formats for that. Ravenfest, I was thinking, or Ravenfest, yeah, I think that's what it's called, where it is a small band and there's a solo campaign that you can do with it, where you encounter giant wolves and you encounter giants and some dragon types critters. And so that's where that's going. And if I sound a little bit slower than normal or a little bit under the weather, we've had some stuff going on in here at the house recently, and it's sort of like, okay, and the weather's bad and it gets hot, cold, hot, cold. So hang on for a second. And so that's where I am. I'm not, and the entire house is sort of like that. I'm very pleased with the way these folks are turning out. I know I should have probably painted the boots at the same time. I didn't, but we'll see how it goes. I'm might just do a light. There's a couple things I might do different on these, where I do a light painting of Reichland Flesh Shade on just the skin, the highlights, to tone it down a tiny bit and bring it, instead of the darker flesh, bring it back around to a pinkish dark flesh. But in any case, very excited the way these guys are coming. I need to, once I get all the stuff painted, I will begin to getting the bases done. And I'm going to do the same type of thing I did on these guys, where I took some, well, you'll see, and I'll discuss it when I get it done. So I'm hoping to have it done sooner than later. So that's where we stand on my current projects. So what's been sort of left behind? I still have my Tyranids from Kill Team before Tomb World, and I forget what that one was called right now. And most of those Tyranids are at least primed. I've done some color on it, but they're not, nothing else has gone on with that. And I have some new stuff. I still have the mammoths I'd like to get primed and painted, and that might happen today. We'll see. I just have a lot of little things. And that's where I am. Reading stuff, nothing new there, just the rule book for Hidestone and Bone and Satanic Brides of Dracula, which is great literary reading, I know. I do have set up a game of Void Fighter, and I'll be doing that a little bit later. If I don't have enough things to try to do. And I'm excited about that. I'm using the tokens in the little coin discs that I as my ships, and I have a couple different colors of ships, and I'll be getting eventually getting a couple different sizes. So I right now have a Void Fighter, and then I have the next size up, which is the gunship, and some scenery to do, and some of the Greek guys for a lot of different games. So I'm so sorry that it's taken so long to finish all these things, but life is what it is, and when you have a lot of different interests, you can go and you can see that I don't know if other people have this out there, where if you are right now interested in the Kill Team, and you get to a point and you're like, well, okay, and you get a little bit overwhelmed or whatever, then you get into the Silver Bayonet, and then you get a little bit further along, and then you're thinking, oh, look, here's something I could do for Forbidden Psalm, and I'm fortunate in that I can have all these different things, but it's very frustrating because you get to a point of overwhelm until something starts getting done. So I was very happy to get the animals mostly done and based, and very happy with that. We're going to get those done for sure. The cavemen, same type of thing. Cave women, there's only 4 of them. That I'm hoping to have done this week. The dinosaur hunters are not something I'm too worried about. I've started magnetizing them. But that, I want to probably just prime these guys and let them sit for a little bit until I need something. They could play out in a couple different games too. And we'll see what happens. In any case, if you have any questions or comments, please leave it below. If you have any suggestions, I'm more than willing to consider. Please let me know. And thank you very much for watching, and have a great week ahead. And again, this is Week in Review by Minipots. Thank you again.